wearing a t-shirt that says never made.
I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.
All right, guys, today we got a presence in the power slap game, in the slap fighting game. His name is FW Mike from the PT Pod channel. How you doing, Mike?
I am well. How are you doing today? Never made weight in the building.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That felt like a real audience. Mike, what brought you to covering power slap?
The love of it. Actually, man, when I first got involved in Power Slap, dog, I'm a producer, right? I'm a producer, writer, sometimes performer, but a lot of my butter comes from politics and producing political podcasts, helping write and produce political shows, everything from legit debates to comedy events, and that kind of thing. And I just wanted to break because, as you know, politics is ugly and heavy, and I just wanted to do something different. And season 3 of Road to the Title, Power Slap, Road to the Title, season 3, they stopped doing their Power Slap addendum show. It was like a 30-minute show. They did the first 2 seasons, had Charlie on. And they would do, it was after the slap. And it was just 30 minutes breaking down the show, and I loved it. Well, they quit doing it season 3. And I didn't really know anybody in Power Slap or anything like that. And having a background in comedy, producing, starring in my own TV shows, touring as a stand-up comedian for over 10 years, I was like, the one thing I feel like Power Slap is missing is comedy, is silly colors and, you know what I mean? Pew, pew, pew sounds and making jokes and guys with senses of humor having fun, because when you watch the show, that's what the boys are. And now that you've interviewed them, that's what the boys are. You know what I mean? We want to hang out. We want to joke around. We want to smack each other. We want to have fun. We want to laugh, right? And everybody was trying to be the next ESPN of Power Slap. I just wanted to cover the boys. I know a couple of Power Slap guys personally before they got on the show, actually. Knew of them and then found out they were doing the show. And I just wanted something where I'm like, man, these guys are pizza guys and truckers and Walmart workers and concrete layers and roofers. These are guys that society does not respect in the overall and appreciate. And these guys are willing to get smacked in the face for a better life. Respect, love, appreciation. Let's have some fun and blow them up and give them a place where they can watch a thing where they get an opinion of their fans. And that's a rule we have that we've maintained. We do not have fighters on our show. Unlike everybody else who's like all the crabs in the bucket trying to get to the top. I want this guy, I want that. Our whole point of our show, that's why shout out Don, Superfan, why we have Superfan on. Our show is the bridge. If you, as a slap fighter, as slap fight media, as somebody who loves it, if you are a fan and you want to be represented, that's what Power Slap Time is about. We are the fans. We are the bridge from the company to the fans. That's what we do.
And you host it on Rumble, right?
That's correct. Well, we're on Rumble, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
Got it. And I saw that you guys were doing a live reaction video for Power Slap 13. Do you guys do that every time?
Yeah, we did 14 as well. Yeah. So, yeah, we did 13, 14, and 12. We did 12, 13, 14. It was when we started that, and it blew up, so. It cost me my Twitter channel. I had to get a new Twitter over it, and that's okay.
Why
I'm
is
not
that?
mad.
Copyright?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. They don't really tell you. They're just like, you're suspended. What for? They said like fraud, and I was like, what are you talking about, fraud or counterfeit? Like I was trying to sell counterfeit goods. I was like, no, I wasn't. What are you gonna do? So
you're a producer, writer. What kind of producer?
I produce everything from live shows to TV shows, podcasts. A lot of podcasts now. It's where the bread is buttered. When you're doing TV shows, especially like news shows, so think about like your ESPN or your Fox or your CNN shows, where that's what I do as far as live production is really my skill. Going in, whether I'm playing a part, like I'm one of the guys monitoring, making sure, boom, 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 these 14 things are all happening as they should, right? or I'm the head producer. I love being the producer, the PIC, the producer in charge. I love doing that because I you can see my energy. I love being the guy who is kind of directing the band. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So, throughout your life, later on, you get into power slap, you get into slap fighting, and but before that, or currently, do you watch any other sports or MMA or
yeah,
something?
yeah, of course, man. I think probably about 85 to 90% of all Power Slap fans have a hard love for the UFC because that's kind of, our intro. Love it. In fact, shout out. There's two people I wanted to shout out specifically. One, Chael Sonnen. That's who I try to be like. I try to be the Power Slaps Chael Sonnen. You know what I mean? I am a friend of the sport and I'm a friend of the promotion, but I'm also going to talk that smack because we need somebody. Somebody has to not just kiss ass. Somebody has to not just be like, oh, just show up and pay my ticket. And, somebody has to call a little bit of stuff out, but have fun with it. And I know Power Slap is new, and you see all the cats getting scared, all the crabs that are fighting for their little spot. Oh, he's saying stuff. Let it happen, man. The way this sport gets great is through a little controversy and through personality. You know what I mean? So that's what I encourage for sure.
And who do you think else in the who else in the combat in the power slap space impresses you as far as like analysts or shows?
Yeah, man. Definitely, of course. Uh, and I've literally, just so you know, little behind the scenes, little break in kayfabe. I've had fighters tell me that they have been told not to talk to me because I am friends with this person. But I do want to shout out Beyond the Slap. Terry is awesome. Terry was the first guy to really show me love when I just got into this and I didn't know anybody and I was just sending DMs off. Hey man, I've been podcasting for years and producing for years and I'd like to do something fun in this space, different from what everybody else is doing. So I'm no threat. I'd love to have you on, or I'd love to talk to you. You know what I mean about it more. A lot of people were extremely rude. Extremely rude. Some names that maybe even the biggest names were extremely rude and dismissive and shitty, man, just shitty. And that's not the way you treat people if you want to build something.
Are you
Especially
talking about the athletes or are you talking about the other podcasts?
media, not athletes,
Media.
media. Yeah. Because once again, I don't interview fighters. You know what I mean? So we want to be we want to be the guys who, when you tune into us, you see the guys, you're at the bar. You're coming into the bar with your crazy friends. You know what I mean? We've had a few drinks, had a couple puffs. You know what I mean? And we're talking. You know what I mean? Because that's what the sport needs, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Is honest dudes enjoying it and loving it for what it is. So
How do you feel about the current talent in power slap? You have any notable favorites?
yes, man, I shouldn't have favorites. That's the whole point. Is that I stay neutral. But of course I have favorites.
But the boys have favorites.
Oh yeah, I mean you gotta have favorites, dog. As a fan, man, when I take off my doing a show hat and put on my fan hat, of course, I mean, the man I'm by far most impressed with and I like personally the most is Babyface, man. Like all of us, the Babyface has made himself This man has gone from being, like, how do I say this, man? Okay, so a lot of cats are prospects. You know what I mean? A lot of cats are, you got prospects and you got walk-ons. You got draft picks and you got walk-ons. I'm an OU Sooner fan, as you can clearly see, playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, currently with a better record than Tom Brady. Baker Mayfield was a walk-on, okay? Walk-ons are the greatest, man, the scrappy ones. They're not the prettiest. They weren't designed. There's not a marketing campaign around them to make them look amazing. They scrap it out, and Babyface has scrapped it out. And he works his ass off to be on every podcast damn near that asks him. He does. He's constantly on social media, and he builds, and he builds, and he gives back. He gives back to local promoters. I mean, the dude is the dude. He is 101. If you are looking to make it, you have a little bit of talent, you got a little bit of shine, and you understand that being a combat athlete is a very short career. You don't get to do it for all that long, but you want to build something and build your following. He is 101 how to do it. If you follow that guy, he's giving you a class if you pay attention.
He's very humble too. When I
Yeah,
messaged
no,
him
I
to
hate him.
do
He's a jerk. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love you, Babyface. So
yeah,
him,
when I messaged,
got to shout out Luke Simons, love him.
yeah,
And of course, Iron Chin James Seek Money, Seek Monster is actually a friend of mine. Outside of the slap game, great dude. I love the Hawaiian boys. I like them all, dude. I pretty much like them all. Shout out Raiden Bombardier, wonderful dude, wonderful dude. Slap Fight Championship, Amir Nuruddin. Shout out Amir. Now I could go on and on. I hate it because I'm gonna leave somebody out, but I love them all. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah. I've been vocal about how I feel about Babyface. I think he's the sickest athlete. I mean, no favoritism, obviously, but he's just a very nice guy, and his record speaks for himself. I thought El Perro was really tough. They went to a war. He ended up getting the better of him. And yeah, like I honestly, the good thing about the athletes, everyone's super cool. Is that the same experiences you've had?
absolutely, and that's because these cats are us, man. I worked at Walmart. Okay. You know what I mean? I've delivered
Yeah,
pizzas. I was bad at
yeah,
it because I like pizza too much. It's like, you can't leave me in a car with pizza. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to take this delicious thing to these other people over here. I'm hungry. Anyway,
yeah,
um, I've done these jobs. I'm not a rich man, did not come from richness. In fact, I came from a Section 8 apartment with just my mother. I've never laid eyes on my father. I have no brothers or sisters. It was me and my mom in the hood. I'm talking, I took my wife to where I grew up. This old apartment complex, boarded up windows, all of that.
what
Uh, you
city?
know, uh, Midwest City, Oklahoma. Look it up. It is
Wow.
ghetto hood. It is ghetto country, which is a whole thing, man. Not enough. That's why I love Nelly, country grammar. You know what I mean? Country hood is not repped well enough in America, So anyway, look up the demographics of Midwest City, Oklahoma. You'll see not a lot of white folks there. So I grew up extremely poor with pretty much nothing. Grew up fighting a lot. And then I went to Hawaii, packed up when I was 19 years old. You know what I mean? Went to Hawaii
Yeah,
and was like, I'm going to make it. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to break out of this. And I still never met my father, and he's dead. No, just my mother. So, I came from it. And that's why I love these guys, because a lot of these guys, this is it. Let's be
yeah,
honest, man. This is the best chance they have to do the best for themselves and their families. And I support that. And I want to see them win in any way, shape, or form they can.
yeah. I think all of them get the memo. Um, I love how, I'll probably cut this part out. I just love how the relationships are within the company. When I went to Vegas, I saw everyone was hanging out with each other. Super professional. Actually, you mentioned Beyond the Slap Terry. I, obviously, I'm new to the game. It's very new, obviously, right? But then I saw the drama that was happening with Terry, and I didn't understand really what happened. But then that was the first time I realized, hey, there's some drama happening in Power Slap, which you actually don't see a lot of. Am I right
What
about that?
correct? What drama did you see
I don't
when
know.
you say you
Terry
saw
was
the
on the phone.
drama?
Terry was talking about how somebody was threatening him, and I follow Terry, right? But yeah, I don't know. Is there commonly a lot of drama in this space?
Yeah, man. I'll just say it like this, right? I think there's two ways to look at this. Um, I think there's two different ways to look at this. I think there's the what can I get out of this? How does this benefit me? How can I use Power Slap to achieve my goals in life and to stake my claim? Which, as a fighter, I think is a great idea. I think you should do that. That's what it's there for. I think as media, I think the best. I think that maybe a different approach can be more effective, right? So, there's two ways to look at it, and that is, what can I do for this sport? This is an awesome sport with awesome people in it. And if I use my platform, I use my voice, and I use my love for this sport to get more people involved it allows me to do it more because there's more people involved, right? And if I make that connection with the fans, the more ticket sales, the more merch sales, the more we get to do it, the more solidified it is, right? So you can look at it that way, or you can look at, I want to be famous. I want to have access. I want to be the most important person who's not a power slapper and power slap. And you can look at it like that and say, hey, I'm special and I'm important. But power slappers are not exclusive guys. You understand the same guys that you are excluding because they're not good enough or fancy enough or connected enough or rich enough are power slappers themselves. You wouldn't include, you would be excluding power slappers themselves too. So remember, man, you want to give back to it? Cool. You want to take from it? Cool. It's your choice. But I feel like for me and what I'm trying to do, I think the drama comes when people have different goals. And I think you're allowed to do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Are you rolling up a spliff? Hell yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
I'm a vape guy. I'm too busy. I don't have time. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Michael's with the business. FW Mike is with the business. I love it, dude. Where do you stay at right now, Mike?
Oklahoma. I'm in Oklahoma, state of Oklahoma.
Okay, cool,
Work a lot out of Dallas, Texas, actually, and I travel a lot. My main partner's in Louisiana, and then Power Slap super fan. Our guy, the guy, never missed a thing, you know, is in Michigan, where Babyface and Brandon Bordeaux, man, Michigan makes some power slap killers. I don't know what it is, but they just crank them out.
Two champs,
there.
Eh?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So going back to what you were saying earlier, so basically you're saying there's more drama in media than actual athletes between each other?
You know, I don't know. As far as I'm not there with the athletes, I just know, man, that it's important to decide what you want to do and then go about doing it. I think a lot of cats haven't really decided what they want to do. And that's okay. I just, you know, I think that it's important to decide who you want to be and what you want to do and then just go forward doing that. Man, as far as the drama goes, drama's drama. I'm just disappointed because we could be working together and we could really be building instead of working and acting. There are some gatekeepers out there, and their whole goal as media is just to make sure other folks don't really have access, I think. And that's fine. That's their call. They can do that. They like to brag about how they're so important and special. And that's cool, but I'm not here for that. You know what I mean? The people I like, you know what I mean? I know I'm important and special. I know that if I put you on my stuff, you're going to get 10,000 more views across the planet, right? I know there's going to be people in London and LA and Canada and South America and Africa and Australia that are going to be watching your thing that will have never seen it before, but because I have a platform, right? But I don't need to get on and brag about it every day. I just need to keep working. Shout out Marcus Deegan. Marcus is the example. If you want to be successful in this business. Now, not everybody has the same business model as him, fair enough. He's a brick and mortar guy, and I love that. But it's one of those, that man has had legitimate and palpable success in the entertainment business. From live entertainment to podcasting, he's done it. And he's done it well, and he has the receipts, right? But he never stops. He's still working just as hard today as he was probably 10 years ago, if not harder. And he's still building and doing better things and growing as a person and his business daily. That's my goal as well. I love what he does. And hey, man, I told him, I sent him a DM. Shout out Marcus. I shouted out to him, man. I told him, I was like, man, you're one of the few men I try to be like in this world. You know what I mean? Because your motivation, your quality of production, what you put out, I love it. So, yeah.
For those who don't know, that's Marcus Deegan, right?
Yeah. Yes, Marcus Deegan. Shout out.
Okay. Well, Michael, like outside of Power Slap, what else are you working on that is yours? That just like PT Pod. You mentioned actually PT Pod is a channel, and within that channel, there's multiple shows, right? Can you tell us a little bit about those shows?
Yeah, man. Back to that production thing. Basically, we have a great schedule. Tuesday is Power Slap time. We're actually amalgamating it into Power Sports time because, well, you know, we want to promote Power Slap, but we want to promote all the sports and all the combat sports athletes. And there's a lot of guys, man. There's, you know, the Slap Fight Championship guys and the the Karjitsu guy. That's a lot of the same guys, and we want to have a platform where these guys are promoted and get the love and are seen. You know what I mean? So we do that. That's Power Slap Tuesday nights. Then on Wednesday afternoon, I do a show called The Watch Party, which is actually our most watched and successful show with a partner out of Louisiana, old comedy road buddy, Michael Mann. We've done hundreds of shows on the road together. And we watch classic cartoons and crack-wise make fun of them. Have fun with it. It is called The Watch Party. Yeah, man, Thursday is the original PT Pod. Kind of think a Joe Rogan-esque thing where I sit down kind of like what you're doing here. Not as good. Not as good. But a similar jam.
No.
And yeah, man. And then Friday I do the Caltrop, which is actually on Center Cut Media, and I actually produce that show throughout the week.
You say not as good, Mike. You say not as good, but technically this is not even a podcast, right? This is like, because a podcast you would see my face, and I haven't put my face out. So everyone's doing something different. Whatever works for everybody. I see you're active. It's great. You have a great personality. You have energy, and you bring a little bit of an edge to the game.
What good game doesn't have edge? Name it. Name anything you're interested in. Dude, your favorite sport is dudes punching each other and kicking each other and kneeing each other. And then past that, probably your second favorite sport is dudes straight up slapping the crap out of each other. That's edge, my brother. You know what I mean? That's edge. The thing there is it's about honesty. Let's talk. Let's get together. Let's work it out. Let's do this. Because what cats don't understand is you want to promote through interest, right? Then what's the number one rule of all of this stuff, bro? What's the number one rule?
You tell me.
Don't be boring. Don't be boring. You can be ugly. You can be dumb. I mean, look at some of the crap out there. Do you watch kick streams? Do you ever watch Twitch and kick streams, bro? Some of these people are weird, bro. Weird. You know what I mean? But they're making crazy amounts of money. And that's another thing too, bro. There's a lot of cats that you interview, a lot of cats in this media, they're not monetized, right? They don't have relationships with sponsors. They don't have relationships with media. So they don't understand once you get there, it's a different game. It's a different goal, right? The goal of the amateur is different from the goal of the professional. The goal of the professional is different than the goal of the champion, right? The goal of the champion is different than the goal of the promoter, right? They're all very important. They all have key roles to play, but they're all different roles. And when, you know what I mean, the champion is fighting with the contender, not understanding, the contender's not understanding what the champion has to do. You know what I mean? And it's no disrespect or anything like that. It's just different levels require different commitments, different levels of work in the game. You know what I mean? And I got to ask you, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know you do short casts, but I'm used to hour, 2, 3 hour podcasts, man. So it's hard for me. It's like a fighter when they only have 2 rounds. When they're used to 3, 4 rounds, and then they're on Ultimate Fighter and there's only 2 rounds. It's like,
let me say what I gotta say, bro. What else did I forget? That's probably going through your head, huh?
I know. I'm used to having an hour.
What's the question?
All right, man. What else do you do? And what motive besides Never Made Weight podcast, which is brilliant? And I know clearly you originally were in the I'm gonna dot on what is that weird thing on my nose? Anyway, and I think I got a pimple on my nose. So,
I think it's a shading thing. It's a shading thing. The light's shining on you from that side.
And I know you started with MMA. Everybody go check out Never Made Weight. He has a great Bryce Mitchell cast. You have tons of great work.
Thank you.
What motivated you to get started into this, man? Your vision. I'm just interested because you're different from everybody else, and I love it, man.
Well, I appreciate that. At some point, I started my own business. Actually, I shouldn't say since I was 19, 20. I would say since I was like 24. I got my head on straight. I've always, loved making music. I've always been an artist. I left that for a long time, just focused on work, opened a trucking company, and always been trying to build things, right? A lot of things have failed. I've failed probably I've failed probably like 40 projects, right? But I'm very creative, so I have vision. I have a vision that hasn't proven itself yet. But you're a form of an artist too, right, Mike? there's always that feeling of like, am I crazy or do I actually know what's good? Am I crazy? Because listen, if at the end of the day, and God tells me, actually, you're crazy, bro. Like the music you're making is not good. The work you're doing is not good. It would make sense, because I just need to put all my confidence in what I think is gonna work. And so, on my birthday, a couple months ago, opened this channel, never made weight. I figured, there's so many combat athletes that to talk to, and I love talking to them because I like to get into the mindset and the details and everything that ESPN's not asking, you know or Joe Rogan might not ask. I know, I'm humble enough to know we're nobodies right now, but with some hard work, some dedication, some consistency, and a long period of time, I think that we can be a successful channel. So yeah, shit, I took very long to answer that. Long story short, I'm a creative, so yeah, uh, you know
I
I make
love that. What kind of
music.
music?
Yeah, I
What kind
make
of music?
rap, hip
First of
hop,
all,
rock, alternative.
I love how you just breeze through. You're like, oh yeah, did music, started a company. I'm like, dude, I want to hug you. And you're like, I failed like 40 things. I'm like, I'm glad
Yeah,
you still keep count of the things you fail at. I did like
I've lost
1,000 was too many. So
I've lost a lot of money just like reinvesting into myself.
you haven't lost it then. Then you haven't lost it, bro. Bro, then you have not lost it. By the way, what's your
Yeah.
name? May I have your name? I don't even
My
know
name
your
is
name.
Sped, Sped.
Hell yeah, it is. Hell yeah, it is. Sped in the building. You know what I mean?
Thank you, my brother.
Here's the
Thank
thing,
you.
Sped. Man, what your story is fucking beautiful, man. And that's, dude, we fail a lot. Okay, I have failed. There is no successful man, real successful man, who hasn't failed multiple times, especially when you're creating something new with vision. So, but you say you do pop alternative, rock R&B ish.
I grew up. I loved rap and hip hop, so naturally that's what I got into. I left music for a long time. Bit of an identity crisis because I didn't like what I was representing in my music, right? So I left, but leaving was like agonizing to me because I always have that creative itch, and whenever I do want to make music, I need it to be available for me right away. The whole setup, the studio. If I got to go to the studio, I need to have that ready, because some days I get in that mood, So yeah, I make music, um, rap and hip hop. I have a little bit of alternative-y, rockish out right now, and for the long term, you know, my long-term goals are huge, but right now, I'm just taking it day by day, project by project. Running this channel, Never Made Weight. I don't know if you've noticed, we've been putting out a lot of volume.
Great
Takes a lot of
content.
time,
Yes.
because I run my business too, so, and then I have this and that to take, or just like you, like just like every other person in the world, you know.
Absolutely. But man, you're killing it. I mean, you're killing it on so many levels. That's the cool part about it. And man, don't let okay, so let success be the, and not to sound too cheesy, not to sound like a successory, but man, let success be the journey, not necessarily the destination, right? Because I promise you're going to get to a place where you thought was the place you wanted to be to, and you're still not going to be at the place, right? Because you understand, man, and like you said, I've lost a lot of money in investing myself. No, you have not lost that money because the product is out there. And that's the key, man. What you're doing is the reward. It is the love, the quality, the vision, the focus, the way you do your show, the way your show visually looks different, the way you have a badass logo that makes sense and is interesting and it says so much and bam, one silly logo. But it says so much and does such a good job of being a freaking logo. How do you do that? You know what I mean?
Well, I
I
appreciate
love
that,
it so
bro.
much, man.
I appreciate that. You're
Yeah, bro.
flattering
I
me,
love the
Mike.
fact you're creative.
You're flattering me. I
No,
feel
I'm
like I
not
just
flattering,
accepted
man.
a
I'm not trying to
Grammy.
glaze the donut. No, you should get
I
a
feel like I
Grammy.
just accepted a Grammy. I was like, yeah, well, we didn't have much. Thank God.
I was a
Yeah.
I was a poor child on the farm. No, man, but just a lot of cats. You're mysterious to a lot of us. You know what I mean? It's like, bam, here's this Never Made Weight logo. You know what I mean? There's a couple pictures of him, but like you don't get to see him if you watch his podcast. You have
Yeah.
to go to his social media. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's a brilliant thing. I've never seen anybody figure out that yet. You figured out stuff, and as a musician, man, it's all about those little changes. It's all about those little things, that perfectly imperfect, that imperfection that separates your chord progression from everybody else's. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
pop beat. You know what I mean? That extra little hit.
Yeah.
So do you rap yourself? Do you produce? What do you do, man?
Yeah, I rap, I produce, I work with somebody real close. His name is Christian Ponder, Pop Riff. We make everything from scratch.
Really? Hell
The
yeah.
only way to do it. A lot of people in rap and hip hop get sent a beat or go on YouTube, look for a beat, and that's fine. Obviously, like that's what I did too. I can still do that too right now, and make my life easier. But I really believe in the original art. That's my number one thing over anything. I don't want money. I don't want nothing. Because I'm always working, so I don't want any. Let it come to me. Whatever I deserve, let it come to me. If I deserve it, let it come to me. So my number one thing is creating original art. So yeah, from the ground up, we create music, and sometimes we try to make music for other artists, and it just depends how creative I feel that week. Do I feel creative enough to book a session? Do I feel creative enough to make a beat? And sometimes I just don't feel like that guy. I would say sometimes I feel like I'm a couple people in one, and that is not a fat joke.
That's fair. No, but as an artist and as a creative, you are, man. As a creative, you got to feel everything, and people don't understand that's hard, man. You feel stuff a lot of people don't feel. You don't have the job where you can shut it. You can wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I'm feeling a certain way. I'm experiencing a certain thing, but I can shut it off, grab my coffee, you know what I mean? Grab my breakfast burrito, go to work, and just, grind for 9 hours and, be with the boys or whatever and not worry about my stuff. Deal with a little bit when I come home, pop. No, you're a creative. That means that like what you're feeling is going to come out in your music, like it or not. You know what I mean? You make a beat, that beat's going to sound a certain way. And I bet if you go back and listen to some of your old beats, you get a feeling, right? I know when I listen to some of my old music, you're like, oh, I remember feeling that way. And sometimes it's, I was tripping. She was a hoe. I'm glad I was, not messed up with her still. But I was sad I made a beat about it. I made a song about it. So, yeah, man, that's, for me, I was heavily involved in music. I had a band in Hawaii. We were called the Cyrus B Posse. Our big claims to fame, we got to open for the band War. If you know who that is, Lonnie Jordan. Got to meet and hang out with Lonnie Jordan. The Lowrider Band. Why Can't We Be Friends? All of that.
Yeah.
Reggae funk. Love reggae. So we were reggae funk, that kind of thing. A lot of people see a white boy with guitars. They're like, oh, you must be a metal guy or a country guy. And I'm like, neither. So more funk, soul, R&B, blues, like a little rock. But I understand, man. And for me, that's my discipline instead of gaming. Because I've seen gaming eat a lot of my homeboys' lives up, man. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm susceptible. You know what I mean? I'm susceptible to it, right? I know I have an addictive personality. I can't touch alcohol
me too.
or drugs. So yeah, man. So instead of gaming, because here's the thing, gaming is such a dopamine release. Like every little thing is, oh, it feels good. Yes, yes, yes. Music is hard. You know what I mean? You want to learn a song, you've got to learn it, but you feel so accomplished, and it's so good for your brain. It's so good for your focus, and our focus is so fried nowadays, with everything going on. Music is great for that. It makes you focus and understand and listen intently. And I think that's why you're so great also at what you do with us.
I appreciate that.
With your interviews.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
You were on the road as a comedian.
Yeah, man.
How was that
20 years.
experience?
That's what I did the most of. That's my TV show, Man versus Bar, that I did. Had a run back in the day. Yeah, man. Comedy is what brought everything to me. So yeah, man.
Damn, that's crazy, dude. That's
comedy. Yeah, God. I should say God.
You're very accomplished yourself. I mean, you do You're a bit of a Renaissance man, you would say.
Yeah, but just entertainment. I couldn't, I couldn't roof a house or lay concrete or plumb a toilet to save my
Yeah, me
life. I am
neither.
utterly useless
I
when it
can't
comes
change
to
the
man
doorknob,
stuff.
brother.
There was a question you asked on a previous show. I'd love to
Oh.
answer myself if it's
Let me hear
okay.
it.
You asked, what do you think about the future of marketing and Power Slap and how they're doing it?
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, please.
And my answer to that is I think that they need to focus and love on the fans. They need to focus on the small creators like you. What I see Power Slap doing right now is spending a lot of time and money going after other influencers. They create these lovely, expensive promotional boxes. And do they send them to the guys who are sitting here in the off season when there's months in between Power Slap shows, still consistently, weekly, day in and day out, promoting the sport, interviewing the fighters, trying to keep the interest there. So when it does happen, it's in the algo for the fans. You know what I mean? Or are they sending boxes to people who just have a lot of influencers from shaking their ass, who literally make fun of Power Slap the week after? Who are like, yeah, I'll take your VIP tickets. I'll take your special boxes. I'll take all this special love from a multi-billion-dollar, company parent, whose parent company is $1 billion company. I'll take all this from you. I'll take all the VIP love you want to give me. And then 2 days later, after the show, I'm going to go on a podcast and make fun. And you'll see I've never promoted or said the words Power Slap ever. But you're giving me the VIP tickets. You're giving me the little special love boxes. You know what I mean? And you spent how much money on those as a company? And what does that get you back? It may get you some hits when they're there, but what does that do for your brand, right? But then you have guys like Never Made Weight. You have guys like Slap City. You have guys like Power Slap Memes, right? You have guys who are not personal friends with the actual Power Slap management, who aren't here just to make a name for themselves and cash in on the Power Slap hype so they can feel special and powerful and important, right? But you have the people who genuinely love the sport and love the fighters, and they're going to come out of pocket. They're going to buy tickets. They're going to buy T-shirts. They're going to produce a whole freaking podcast and spend the time and effort and money and resources it takes. They're going to get their friends who'd never heard of Power Slap and they get stupid involved and show how somebody can think Power Slap is stupid and a month or 2 months later be completely in love with it because it's that important. And it's the people doing that work for free and out of pocket and taking the time to do that. I think Power Slap should be seeking those people out. You, me to a certain extent. And they should go, hey, we want to give you the VIP tickets because we know when we're busy doing other things, trying to put together this and get the commissions and get everybody else involved and build the sport, we know you're the people that are going to be on the internet reaching out to the fans. We know you're the people that are going to be pushing our brand forward. So you are the best marketers and advertisers we can support because you do it for free. You do it because you love it. And if you love it, you're not going to quit doing it. You only quit doing it when you don't get out of it what you think. And then that's not love. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That was a great answer. I agree with you. I think that's a great idea. For the channels that are pushing Power Slap, they're working hard. To get other people interested in it. Me personally, I've even told my friends, you guys don't know how entertaining it is. You guys should check it out. Who knows? Maybe I'll host, a couple friends to watch this next one. But no, the next one, Power Slap 15 October, I'm gonna be in Vegas for that one. Are you gonna be there?
Yeah, looks like yes. Looks like I will be there this time. So yeah,
Okay.
man.
Cool. Then I'm looking
Gotta do
forward
it
to
at least once.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Mike, is there anything you want to leave the fans with?
Man, thank you guys so much for everything. Support Never Made Weight. For guys like us, something as simple as a like and a share means more than you have any idea. People have no idea with the 20, 30 seconds out of their day to hit like and hit share, hit follow. They have no idea how important and valuable that is to us. That's everything to us because that allows us to move forward and to do more and follow our dreams to a certain extent. So, man, thank you guys for that support. And it's so important. So please like, follow, share, let people know Never Made Weight is out there doing great stuff. That's what I want to leave people with.
I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you for taking the time. Guys, that's FW Mike. Go check out PT Pod. Great channel. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, brother.
He's wearing a T-shirt that says "Never made."
I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.